Okay, so we just got our little Poulan Pro working here, and I think the moral of this story of this video is it worth fixing these? Well, if you're mechanically inclined and if you have a couple hours to spend on it, it absolutely is. If the motor is not seized or the rings are good, always when you take these apart, always check your inside of your ports and make sure that the piston's in good shape. Check a bit of if there's good spark and all that. So I got $30 in parts in here and a couple hours of my labor. But since I'm doing it at home and it's a hobby, it's not a big deal. It's a nice little trimmer actually. So I think initially my problem was not the carburetor. When I took the fuel line inside the tank, it was rotted right off the pickup tube, a little pickup clunk. And that was rotted right off. So I don't think I was getting proper fuel. It was surging. The carburetor inside wasn't really that bad. It wasn't that bad. I'm in the shade here. Boy, it's getting hot out here. So I trimmed around the yard a little bit with this thing. So yeah, so I changed the lines, cleaned it all up. Carburetor kit. Took the shaft right out of it. Re-lubricated the shaft. Cleaned it up as best I could. Cleaned inside the tank. So I did, it looks pretty good. So I'm going to try something here. So like I say, isn't really worth fixing. Well, if you have time. But if you're going to bring these to the shop, and I want to be charged $100 an hour, if you got an hour and a half labor, you might spend an extra $80 and get a new one. So I mean, that's the dilemma that people are dealing with right now with the cost of everything. But the kit, like I say, was 20 some odd bucks, and with the lines and all that, new lines, an extra 10 bucks. It wasn't the end of the world in a couple hours and a couple of cool glasses of water. So we're going to fire it up here. Should fire up no problem. That starts almost good as my Mercury outboard, like. So, like I say, moral of the story is, if you have time, and like I say, this one was a Chinese carburetor, so the kit was only like $21. It was a Walboro, 40-50 bucks. Even then, if you know your trimmer's in good shape. This one's pretty old actually. So anyways, I spent the afternoon working on this so I could bring it back to the field and cut my grass at the flying field, and hopefully get some proper maintaining around the field this summer. But I think I could have got away with just changing the fuel lines. It would have ran, but you're that far gone, you might as well just take it apart in an extra hour or two. And I spend more time looking for parts. I lost the one gasket, it was on the floor. Anyways, you find these at the dump. Sometimes they're worth fixing. You have a time to kill. But the thing is, if you fix these up to sell, it's not a good idea because you're still dealing with an old machine. If you sell something to somebody, it is what it is. I mean, it could run a week, it could run 10 years, we don't know. But for me, what I'm using it for, it's going to be awesome. So 73, so 1 is right, Ontario, and hope everybody's having a good day.